After the age of 40, a shadow can begin to linger in our minds, a persistent, unsettling question. Is it cancer? Many of us know this anxiety all too well. We schedule tests, we wait for MRI results, and we brace ourselves for news that could change everything. This fear is not unfounded. Statistically, 1 in 3 people will receive a cancer diagnosis at some point in their lives. The numbers are stark, the reality sobering. But behind the statistics, there is hope, because understanding the underlying causes of cancer empowers us to change our destiny. Dr. Jason Fung, a renowned physician and author of The Cancer Code, brings a crucial insight to light. Most people are unaware of the real drivers behind cancer. Among these, diet stands out as one of the most overlooked yet powerful factors. A landmark study in 1981 sought to quantify the risk factors for cancer across populations. The results were illuminating. Tobacco smoke, as expected, was the single greatest contributor, responsible for about 35% of cancer cases. But, coming in a close second, was diet, accounting for approximately 30% of overall cancer risk. These two factors stand head and shoulders above the others. By comparison, elements we often worry about, such as pesticides, chemicals, or radiation, each account for only 1 to 2% of cases. The clear message: what we eat is almost as decisive as whether we smoke. For millions, diet is the silent driver of cancer risk. When food enters our bodies, it sets off a complex series of metabolic reactions. Central to these is the release of insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. Insulin's primary job is to move glucose from the bloodstream into our cells, where it is used for energy. Without insulin, our cells starve. With it, they thrive. But insulin is far more than just a fuel manager. It is an anabolic hormone, meaning it stimulates growth and cell division. In childhood, this is essential for development. But in adulthood, growth within our organs and tissues is generally unwelcome, especially when it comes to the uncontrolled growth that defines cancer. As Dr. Fung explains, cancer cells hijack insulin's growth-promoting powers, using it as a kind of fertilizer to fuel their relentless expansion. Elevated insulin levels create an environment where tumors can flourish. Let's pause to highlight this key point. Insulin equals fertilizer for tumors. This is not just a metaphor. Cancer cells are uniquely adapted to exploit insulin. While healthy adult cells need little in the way of growth signals, cancer cells crave them. They express large numbers of insulin receptors, making them far more sensitive to insulin than their normal counterparts. This is especially true for cancers such as breast and colorectal cancer, which are known to be highly insulin-dependent. In laboratory studies, when breast cancer cells are deprived of insulin, they wither and die. Without that growth signal, their expansion grinds to a halt. But how do our everyday choices influence insulin? The answer lies in what and how we eat. Foods that are rapidly digested, white bread, pasta, sugary drinks, cakes, candies, cause dramatic spikes in blood glucose, prompting the pancreas to flood the body with insulin. When we eat these foods frequently or graze throughout the day, we keep insulin levels elevated for long periods. Over time, this state of hyperinsulinemia not only increases the risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes, but also signals our cells, cancerous and otherwise, to grow. Obesity and type 2 diabetes are both characterized by chronically high insulin. It is no coincidence that these conditions are also linked to higher cancer rates. Let's underscore another crucial message: diet equals 30% cancer risk. This is not a distant academic statistic. It is a call to action. Every meal is a choice that can nudge us toward health or disease. To further illustrate the power of insulin, consider a unique population in Ecuador: people with Laron dwarfism. Due to a rare genetic mutation, they do not sense insulin at all. The result? They are of short stature, but they are almost entirely immune to cancer. This remarkable immunity highlights the pivotal role of insulin in cancer development. When the body cannot respond to insulin, when the fertilizer is absent, cancer struggles to take hold. So, what can we do to change our internal environment and reduce cancer risk? The answer lies in restoring balance to our metabolism, primarily by controlling insulin. This is not achieved through medication, but through deliberate lifestyle changes. First and foremost, eliminate sugar and processed carbs. Reducing or eliminating foods that spike blood sugar, such as sugary drinks, sweets, white bread, and highly processed snacks, can dramatically lower insulin levels. In place of these, focus on whole, minimally processed foods, vegetables, healthy proteins, whole grains, and natural fats. Equally important is the concept of intermittent fasting. As Dr. Fung advocates, regular periods without food allow insulin levels to fall to their natural baseline. This does not mean eating less overall, but rather restricting eating to a defined window each day. For example, finishing dinner by 6 o'clock p.m. and having breakfast at 8 o'clock a.m. gives the body a fasting period of 14 hours, ample time for insulin levels to drop. This daily rhythm is encoded in the very word breakfast, the meal that breaks our overnight fast. Yet modern habits have eroded this simple pattern. Many of us snack late into the night, eat frequent meals, and rarely allow the body a true fasting interval. Each time we eat, insulin rises, and the cycle of growth signals continues. Let's emphasize the principle. Intermittent fasting. This practice is both ancient and scientifically validated, offering a powerful tool for resetting insulin levels and depriving cancer cells of their preferred conditions. Here's how you can begin. If you currently eat over a span of 15 or more hours each day, try gradually shortening your eating window. Aim for 12 or 14 hours of fasting daily, which can be as simple as finishing dinner earlier and delaying breakfast by an hour. During the fasting period, only water, unsweetened tea, or black coffee should be consumed. Over time, this routine becomes effortless, and the metabolic benefits are profound. Another vital component is quality sleep. Sleep is natural fasting. During sleep, we are naturally abstaining from food, allowing insulin to fall and the body to repair. Chronic sleep deprivation, however, disrupts these restorative processes, elevating both insulin and stress hormones. Prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night not only aids in cancer prevention, but also supports immune function, mood, and overall health. Consider the broader message: change your internal environment. Rather than focusing solely on fighting a tumor once it appears, we have the power to shape the conditions in which cancer cannot thrive. By lowering insulin, reducing sugar and processed foods, practicing intermittent fasting, and securing restorative sleep, we can transform our bodies from fertile ground for disease into resilient defenses against it. It's important to recognize that cancer is not a foreign invader. It is, in many cases, the body's response to years of metabolic imbalance. Our modern lifestyles, filled with processed foods, constant eating, sedentary habits, and poor sleep, have crafted an internal landscape where cancer can flourish. But this landscape is not fixed. It can be reshaped, starting today. Let's revisit the key visual. On one side, a healthy body, lean, energetic, metabolically balanced. On the other, a body beset by obesity and type 2 diabetes, conditions marked by high insulin, chronic inflammation, and increased cancer risk. The difference is not written in our genes, but in our daily choices. While genetics play a role, studies show that lifestyle factors, especially diet and eating patterns, can tip the balance decisively. The story of the Laren dwarfs reminds us that even powerful genetic drivers of cancer can be neutralized by changing the metabolic environment. The role of genetics in cancer is often misunderstood. While certain inherited mutations do increase risk, the vast majority of cancers arise not because of genes, but because of the way our environment interacts with them. Cancer is, in essence, a disease of opportunity. thriving when the conditions are right. Our job is to ensure that those conditions are never met. Let's reflect on another central truth. Every time we eat, we are sending a message to our cells. A surge of sugar and insulin tells the body to grow, to store, to divide. A period of fasting tells the body to repair, to cleanse, to restore balance. Over years and decades, these messages accumulate, shaping our health trajectory. Here are practical steps you can take, starting today. 1. Eliminate or reduce sugar and processed carbohydrates. Replace these with whole, fiber-rich foods that are digested slowly. 2. Adopt intermittent fasting. Begin by extending your overnight fast to 12 to 14 hours. Gradually, you may experiment with longer fasting periods, always listening to your body's signals. 3. Prioritize sleep. Create a restful evening routine, avoid screens before bed, and aim for consistent sleep and wake times. 4. Reduce meal frequency. Rather than eating 5 or 6 times a day, try 3 meals with no snacking in between. Each meal becomes more satisfying, and your body enjoys longer periods of metabolic rest. 5. Be mindful of hidden sugars. Many processed foods, sauces, and beverages contain significant amounts of sugar, even if they don't taste sweet. 6. Stay physically active. Regular movement helps regulate insulin, improves mood, and supports overall well-being. 7. Manage stress. Chronic stress elevates insulin and disrupts sleep. Mindfulness practices, hobbies, and social connection all contribute to a calmer mind and body. The journey toward cancer prevention is not about deprivation, but about empowerment. Each positive change, no matter how small, moves you closer to a state of metabolic health where cancer finds it harder to take root. Let's summarize the most important takeaways with bold clarity. Yet is 30% cancer risk. Insulin, a fertilizer for tumors. Eliminate sugar and processed carbs. And intermittent fasting. As sleep is natural fasting. Change your internal environment. These are not just slogans. They are the pillars of a lifestyle that can dramatically reduce your cancer risk. There is no single guaranteed way to prevent cancer, but by understanding the science and acting on it, we reclaim a significant measure of control over our health. The most powerful tools are within our reach: the foods we choose, the rhythms of our eating, the quality of our sleep, and the habits we cultivate each day. For those over 40, and for everyone seeking to thrive in the years ahead, let this message offer both caution and hope. Cancer risk is not a fixed fate. By changing our habits, we change our internal environment and create a body that resists disease. As Dr. Jason Fung reminds us, rather than focusing solely on fighting the tumor, we must change the conditions in which cancer cannot thrive. This is a revolution in thinking, a shift from fear to proactive prevention. It is never too late to begin. Every healthy meal, every restful night, every period of fasting is a step toward a future defined by vitality, resilience, and peace of mind. Let us move forward, not in fear, but in confidence, armed with knowledge, inspired by science, and committed to building a life where cancer finds no welcome. The path is clear. Change your lifestyle, eat wisely, reduce sugar and unnecessary meals, and you can lower your cancer risk, not just for yourself, but for the generations that follow.